Okay, so like I said, the number one thing when it comes to false breakout is that no matter how good of a trader you are, definitely you cannot avoid false breakouts in the markets, right? And that's because of the people we are up against. Remember, we always find two categories of people in the market, buyers and sellers. But even at that, there are people who bring in the volume into the forex market. Who are these people? Governments, banks, hedge fund managers. You know, the way people say you can't actually win against the government, no matter how good you are, good. Now, the same way, the Goldman Sachs of this world, these are the biggest banks that bring in the volume of money. So imagine retail traders trying to win against such people. It's very hard. But what you can try to do as much as possible to be on the winning side is to always trade alongside their own move, right? I think I once saw a diagram where someone drew a fish and then showed retail traders always in front trying to run, like they're trying to catch the market moves. Meanwhile, the big fish is right behind them, which is the real retail traders. They throw crumbs in front. And then retail traders who are represented by those small fishes, they run after the crumbs, right? Now, those crumbs they threw in front is just like a false impression to give you a false impression that the market is moving in the direction. And then retail traders run along. Then the big fishes eventually swallows them and head the other way. Meanwhile, people who have mastered how to trade alongside these banks would be right behind the big fishes or gumming themselves to their body so that they want to see the move those ones will make before they follow suit. But even at that, no matter how careful you are, of course, you can't always miss this false moves sometimes, right? So, and like I said, false breakout is when the market gives you an impression is heading in a direction and most likely head in the other direction. And how do you cite some of this false breakout? Let me give you an impression. Let me give you an example on the screen. And in fact, if you're checking the charts, you discover you can't miss it. What do I mean? Have you seen a situation where you have a range? The market is having a ranging market or probably gets to a resistance. And then remember, we are always watching out for price action around those areas. How many of us know we are watching out for a pin bar or a doji? And eventually, probably you wanted to sell, but you still see the market. After you saw that candlestick that said sell, all of a sudden you see the market make a reversal and head the other way. True or false? Have you witnessed that before? Temi and Anne?
Yeah, true. Even BTC did that. Was it yesterday or 2 days ago?
Oh, okay. That's was it the buy move? It did 2 days ago.
Yes, a buy move.
Okay,
Instead
good.
of
So
selling.
that's instead of selling. Let me see. I think somebody should share their screen so that we use that and check out some points or some things we should have noted that might let us know it's a false move. Who wants to go? And I think I said and Timmy. I think Anne has issue with the device at the moment. So Timmy, I beg you go first. Share.
All right. Yeah, on the H4.
Okay. Make it okay. I'm already doing that. Okay. He gave an impression like it broke the trend to the upside. Is it right?
Yes. Yes, that's true.
Yeah. And then what happened after it came back into the trend? Now that could be an impression of a false breakout. But the truth is, remember I always said if you had started on the higher time frame, as long as it was still within the weekly trend, then you would have cited that this could probably be a false breakout, right? Then another thing is anyone is still within the concept of a downtrend. Can you see the
Yeah.
downtrend has not broken? So
Yes, yes.
definitely that's false. Now, one of the things you will note about the false breakout when the candle closes, which is why I am very particular about waiting till the candle closes, you will always know it's false. Now, the people who get 90% of the time on false breakout are impatient traders. You're not waiting for a price action to end, the candles to close. You would be carried away because, let's say, for instance, this is it. Even let's say you were what you did, you were considering the H4, is it not? You broke out of the trend.
Yeah.
And I said, tell me, let's analyze now. Now, what was the rule I told us? I said, anytime you have, just because the candle breaks out of the trend, if you remember the rules of possible reversals, I said, just
Yes.
because it closes out of the trend does not mean it's going to reverse. One
Yes,
thing
yes,
you want to
that's
see,
true.
this broke to the upside out of a downtrend. You want to see it break above the next resistance. If it closes above, then you say, yes, most likely you might have a reversal. Now, following this H4, when this your green candle closed out, did it close above the resistance of 2288 zone? You marked out.
No, no, it
So
didn't.
the moment not close above that, I know that's most likely going to be a false breakout. Now, the truth is, if you had also followed the rule to the later, now anytime you have a break, when it broke out of this trend line around this 19660, you should
Yeah,
have waited for a test before you join. Who remembers that?
that's true.
Now, see what you did. They tell me, without being in your house, I can guarantee you that you will on H1. Now, probably an
On
H1 candle
H,
first thing. I'm saying probably you went to pick your entry on H1 because if you had waited for the candle that will come and retest that 1960 area, and if you
yeah,
had actually waited for the close of that candle, this candle, that red candle, was the one that came to retest. It closed back right inside the zone
yeah.
and inside the trend. I wouldn't have joined the buy after that candle closed. I would have known it was a false breakout. That's one of the reasons why I always tell people, don't make a decision outside of H4. Trust me, H1 would this. In fact, if you trade H1 mostly, you would
Mm,
experience a lot of breakouts in the market. You might feel, oh,
mm,
I'm going to miss entry on time. It's a lie. If you compare the entries you think you will miss to the
yeah.
false breakout you're going to experience, my sister, 90% of time,
Mm-mm.
you always trade because you feel. Put this chart on 1 hour. Let's say something.
Okay. It's on the 1 hour now.
Good. Now, before that long candle that broke back into the trend, the other one was a 1 hour. Can you say? Now, I'm
Yeah.
sure if I even put 30 minutes, when it gets to this zone, it will give you an impression that this thing is going back up. So if you had been going on those smaller time frames, you would have gotten caught up. Somebody else would have jumped in the buy, and then they will
Yeah.
get caught. So this is for you, Temi. I know you like 1 hour very much. And if you
No,
actually
I
look
don't,
at the price
coach. I don't trade 1 hour.
I miss 1 hour. But the truth is, let's ask ourselves some questions. Most of the price action patterns I actually recommended. If you remember, I told you the engulfing. You want to trade on H4, not even
Yes.
H1.
Yeah,
Remember.
yeah,
So
that's true.
the pin pad is supposed to be your entry also. You want to see it on H4. So what it means is if you're going to H1, you're not going to be seeing those things. You're going to be seeing something else, and then you'll jump in. Probably you see those morning star and the rest of them evening star. Trust me,
Yeah.
nothing feels more than once over time. So
Okay.
always waiting for close of candle is one way to avoid false breakout. Let's write this down. How to avoid false breakouts.
Is Anne here? Hey, my
Yeah.
darling, I'm here. Oh, okay. I'll stop sharing.
So
Okay.
yeah, you're still sharing. Okay. No, don't stop sharing
I'll
because we are
stop.
coming back. We're going to be using that chat to explain some of the points we are going to make.
Uh-oh.
One
So I
way,
should still leave it there?
yes, this.
Okay.
So let's write how to avoid false breakouts. Can I go on? Can I proceed, please?
Yes, coach. Do.
Okay, number one, stop chasing parabolic moves. Stop chasing parabolic moves. Let me explain that. You're also writing. That is breakouts with strong momentum. Candle breakouts with strong momentum.
Coach, please, what did you say? I didn't get that.
Okay, I said number one thing, stop chasing parabolic moves.
Number
I'm
two.
not trying to explain. No, I'm not on number two. I'm trying to explain what that parabolic move means. So I now said that is breakout with strong momentum. That is breakout candles. Sorry. That is breakout candles with strong momentum. But
Coach, are we writing this or are you explaining? I am lost.
I'm writing, you're writing, sorry, you're writing this.
Oh, please start again. Then after stop chasing parabolic moves, what's next?
It's not stop chasing parabolic moves that I'm explaining, as in that you're writing. It's not like there's another point. Do you get? So now write that is such breakout candles with strong momentum. Should I take it again? Do you get the point?
Yes, such breakout candles
that have strong momentum.
They have what?
Strong momentum.
Okay.
But little or no pullbacks. Comma. But
Sorry,
little,
but little or what?
or no pullbacks. That is, the candles break out, but they don't give you a pullback move. So that's why I said with little or no pullbacks. Comma. Should I proceed?
Yes, boss.
In such cases, the market may suddenly reverse. In such cases, the market may suddenly reverse, comma, and there is no floor to support your entries. There's no floor to support your entries. Full stop. Are we still together?
Yeah.
Notes. Still on that parabolic move now. The next line, notes. Reversals of parabolic move are always very huge and sharp. They're always very huge, and then they are sharp. They're always very huge and sharp. Full stop. Can we proceed?
Yes, boss.
Number two. after
Is there?
hear me?
Oh, we lost you for a minute.
Yeah, so sorry about that. Okay, so I'm back. I said don't chase breakouts after the market has made strong moves or strong moves actually. Did you write that? I've written that down. That was the second point.
You just started it when you went off. Don't chase
Oh,
breakout
okay.
after the market.
After the
Mm-hmm.
market has made a strong momentum move.
Okay.
Number three, as much as possible, always let the candles close, sorry. Always let the candles close before you make an entry. Are we there?
Yes, boss.
Okay, then the last one. Trade breakouts that have build-ups or breakouts that have retests. Trade breakouts that have build-ups or trade breakouts after a retest. Full stop.
Is Coach D there?
I'm here. I'm just waiting for you. I've
Oh
written
my
that
god.
down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now let's go on. So let me explain everything we've written down. Remember at the beginning, I said, always remember every single day you open your chat to trade that nothing in this market is guaranteed, right? There's always a lot of deception, manipulation by the big boys trying to gather some money from we, the small players. So, what we want to do as much as possible also is to be very careful and try to be on their side. So, if anybody tells you you are always going to avoid false breakouts, it's a lie. No matter how perfect and careful you are, you will still fall prey once in a while. That's why we have markets eating the stop loss, right? But then if you follow these rules, I just summarized into four. Trust me, it will be easy for you to avoid them. Now, what's the number one thing you want to do? You want to avoid chasing parabolic moves. What do I mean by parabolic moves? Parabolic moves are all those strong moves where you just see those candles getting big, right? And they suddenly break out of a zone. Remember, one of the things I told us is when you're trading breakouts, at least wait for a retest. There are two ways, when a candle break out. Some people join the breakout move, but when you join a breakout move, you might not know when it's going to reverse back. That's why we always use the concept of wait for a retest. But you see, the one that is even worse is what we call parabolic moves, in the sense that those ones, the candles will keep moving. They are very big. Even if you want to join the move, I remember when we used to do CBX. If I remember, there are sometimes we'll be calling trade and we'll see the market moving with strong big candles. You don't even know where to join because you're not seeing a support inside to join the buy. You're not even seeing a resistance. The market is just going. In such cases, it's dangerous because the way they went up with such big momentum, they can just suddenly reverse back. So what do I mean? I want to look for charts like that. Tell me, move your. Let me see. Just watch out for big candles. Okay, we're on H4. And I think this BTC is always doing that, doing all those parabolic moves most times. I've seen some, but probably because of the time frame we are on. Okay, good. There was somewhere in this past where you had a very blue candle. No, I won't call that parabolic move. There was still a zone that anyone could have joined the market. But most of those parabolic moves, you won't even see a zone nearby and you want to jump in. So when you want to jump in, it becomes, let me go and look for those AUD. Good, let's go to USD JPY. Go to daily, mom, or weekly. Okay, daily will still give us there. Now look at it in the past. Go to daily. When this market broke out of that 138.9 area, no, you've gone far. You come towards where the market is. All that one you're showing is past. The last, like a major buy move up. Good. That zone you marked as 137. I'm not dealing with what happened too much in the past. I'm thinking of what happened recently in the present. But no. Okay, let me even work with this. There is a zone around 128. Wait now, Temi, are you the one sharing the screen? Or is it Han? Who is sharing? Temi.
This is Tammy.
Can you
My
hear
chat
me?
doesn't look at isn't green or red.
Oh, it's me. Oh, sorry.
So I said that you were not here or you weren't here what I was saying.
I'm actually here. Let me
Okay.
share. So, where did you say I should place it? One what?
You see the beginning of this, your trend line at the bottom. There was one buy
Okay.
move that went into that trend. Wait, don't worry, I'll share my screen.
Okay.
Just a moment. Trying to make myself post.
Tammy.
Yes, Anne, I'm here.
I wanted to ask you, have you started trading with your live account?
And this call is recorded. When I stop recording, you ask that.
Oh, I take that back.
All right, thank you. So, okay, let me give you a scenario. All these candles suddenly looking small. On a good day, when they start moving, they look so big. You'll be scared you missed out of the move. Okay. Now look at this move. The move that happened here, right? You know, the market just kept buying. Like, look at this buying move that went up. Is that removed? You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 candles. It wasn't even giving anyone the opportunity. Like, if you wanted to join this move, it's dangerous. Because why? After it broke, it did not really give a what's it called? It didn't reverse immediately. You know, this took days. Are we still here?
Yes, coach.
Yeah.
Okay, now this buy move happened for like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days consecutively. It wasn't even coming down to retest. If you noticed where each one closed, the next one opened. Now, this kind of move is what I call parabolic move, because as at that time, remember, it just broke out of a range. So even if we're trying to draw a trend line, most often parabolic move, when you're trying to draw a trend line, it won't be neat at the beginning, because why? The market has not done a pullback. Remember, when you draw a trend line, inside the trend line, you should be seeing both an impulsive move and a pullback move. Yes or no? We remember. That's why we say every trend has 2 moves. But you see, when the market is making a parabolic, you won't be seeing that everything will just be going in one direction. Now, you that you want to join, you remember the rule is we join at support, you remember, or resistance that became support. So imagine for the next 10 days, where is the support you would have joined this market? Probably back and retest, is it not? This is the easiest floor. So all it means is all this while is there were really no floor as it went up. Now, when you jump in such parabolic move, it's dangerous, because most often they reverse, and the reverse is very terrible. Like, it will be unexpected, because you are already following the illusion that it will keep going up. So you'll just be joining and joining, and all of a sudden, when you are not prepared, it will just reverse. And at the end of the day, you notice when the reversal came, it still came back into that zone. So what I always tell people is avoid parabolic moves. The moment you missed it, let it go. That's why the best bet is still wait for the market to come back. And that's why I expect that the fall that is going to happen on this USD JPY is also going to be huge. Look at another leg move he made again. Move. Can you see he kept buying? He kept buying. Only once he did this small that looks like a flag. But right after that, for days, he kept pushing up. Now, if you're joining this, you're not sure. Because look at multiple times, he gave you doji as if it was going to reverse. Who remembers? Can you see this doji right here? There was a doji right here. It didn't as if it was somebody else would have like,
Yes,
oh, I'm
yes,
going to
coach.
sell. But you think, oh, I'm going to sell. I see a doji. It means the trend is weak. But what happened? That was a false signal. Right after that, what did market do? It broke above it again. Right? That's some features of parabolic move. The candles are always very large, very big, normal, more than the normal moves you see. After that, again, you see another doji. Someone else like, oh, I'm going to sell it. What happens again? He gave another false impression and he kept moving on. Now, look at all the way up. They are untested levels. I've shown you like 2. That's why, when this market is going to drop, it's going to be very, drastic, unexpected. And that's what USDJPY did. In fact, there was a time, look at this red. Most people were not expecting. Look at the week. It came down and it's very huge. Those are some of the symbols of, or symptoms, sorry, rather, of a parabolic move when you least expect. So that's how I tell people, avoid trading them. The best thing is still wait for the retest, right? So because the reversals, when they happen, they're always very huge. I think there was something like that on GBP, JPY. I'm not sure. I remember again, but I think I saw there was someone I was telling that a market did over 900 pips in one day. Normally, I don't know if I told you before. It was what's it called? Gold. I used to think can do like 1,000 pips in a day, apart from indices. I'm talking of currency pairs. But now, fear this market. Now, this is the same thing GBP JPY did. You can see very strong candle. It just went. It didn't give people an opportunity to like a retest immediately. So if you are jumping, look at it spiked way down. And all of a sudden, this was a reversal. It's a reversal. That's why you have the week. Yes or no?
Yes, coach. Yes.
Because what it means is during the life of this candle, it was a sell candle. It came all the way low down. So some people would have seen this sell, like, oh, this thing is going to keep selling. They'll jump in. But what happened when they jump in? Of course, the reversal. If I go on H4, you see that reversal. The reversal too will just happen. It will catch them unawares. Who would have thought this kind of candle that shows strong momentum would suddenly reverse and you have buy moves like this? So in such a way, I don't jump in parabolic moves. No, I want a retest. If it breaks a zone, if I cannot find any other, I wait at the initial place where it broke, let it come there and retest. That's why the third thing I said is always wait for, don't trade breakouts that don't have retests. I know some people say, oh, okay, I was there at the beginning of the breakout. Yes, you might be there at the beginning of the breakout, but just note that anything can happen. That's why the best thing is wait. The retest is like further confirmation that yes, these people are still in charge. Because this game, trading game, is like two teams. Imagine Man U and Chelsea. If you score in their home, in the home of in the pitch of the other football team, they too definitely will try to reclaim their own back by scoring back. So, but if they come back, the other team comes and scores the second time, it tells you they are still stronger than the opponent. So if you don't give the market an opportunity to reconfirm that to you, trust me, there is no way. You just notice that you keep eating from one false breakout to the other. You always experience that. So that's why I would say sometimes prefer the ones that build up. When the market breaks with the build up, there's always like a floor or a ceiling for you to work with, instead of just going straight and you don't even know where to jump in or not. And then the most important one, always wait for the candle to close. Imagine if somebody had been trading this daily based on a daily pattern, you would probably want to see this daily close. So if you are jumping before the day closed, what happened? This person who was selling would already be in loss and eat their stop loss because the market would have reversed. But if this person had waited to see how this candle would have closed, they would have seen this signal and then they could have made better decisions. Whatever time frame. That's why I said any candle pattern you wait using for, always wait, let it close. Even if it's H4, wait. Like that BTC thing, if anybody waited for that H4 to close, trust me, you would have seen it closed back inside the zone. And then you know that no, this thing is a no right now. Do you get? So those are some of the ways you can at least avoid false breakouts in the market. I've not even seen a perfect example of what I was looking for. So let me check gold. At times gold will just, who has experienced gold? When gold will just sell, boom, then the next minute you just see it. Oh God, good. This, I think this is looking like it. Now look at, some people are going to join this buy at this stop. Hope you know. Do you know we're on a downtrend? Yes or no? We're on a downtrend. In fact, the last candle buy candle was still a sell move. Who saw that? It was still a sell candle. Are we still together?
Yeah.
Yes, coach.
Okay. So all of a sudden, what happened? This buy candle went up and broke out of and even broke out of the one that, and I'm sure a lot of people that have lost money with this. I'm sure. The way hand is there. So what it means is the best way to trade this, should I tell you, wait for this market to come back and retest. Although I might understand why we are having this move, but wait, this is a strong engulfing candle. Who agrees? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes, coach.
Okay. Now, from the way we trade engulfing, there are two ways. You remember I was saying you can enter on the close of it. So if you had probably entered on this close, this was where it closed. Yes, it's still in some profits. Right? But this market, apart from that, is still coming to retest. Remember that rule also, wait for a retest of that zone. So, and I think I always prefer that wait for the retest. That way you further confirm. So when it comes back to retest where this market broke out of the trend line, I will feel more comfortable depending on how the candle closes. Because when the candle comes back there and I see it closes above the zone again, still respecting the zone, or it gives me a buy candle signal, I will go in with much confidence than jumping in. What if I jump in now? It just reverse from here. So imagine I jump in here. Probably I miss the beginning of this move. so to speak. I now jump in. Oh, the market is buying. This candle is buying. I jump in, and then it chooses that time to come and retest, or probably changes direction again. I'll be caught in the middle. So most cases, wait for the candle to close, and then wait for the market to reconsolidate that zone, reconfirm by retesting. That way you tend to limit. Especially, let me show you some example of breakout. In fact, most often when you see those candles with long wick at the top, things that look like pin bar, those are signals of false breaks. Because when this candle opened, it gave the impression that it was going to go up and buy above. All of a sudden, what happened? The body closed back inside that same zone. Can you see? So if I had waited for the candle to close, if I remember when we're doing TBX, I always tell them, wait, let's wait till 9:15. Let's see how the 15 minutes candle close. Some people would have said, it's going up, it's going up. It gives you a false impression as if you are missing out. In reality, you are not missing out. Because if you jump in and buy and then it comes back and start reversing, will be caught. And look at the fact that it even closed back inside the zone. 2-3 candles later, this thing tanked massively. I mean, it always, it went in the opposite direction of the impression it gave you. So do we understand what false breakout means now?
Yes,
Yeah.
coach.
Good. So now you know the ways to avoid them. Any move you're not seeing an entry zone. In fact, this one is not even giving. I've still not, because this one, I'm even seeing entry zones. It's an entry zone here now. There are some candles, you just see 4 big candles following each other. You can't even find the nearest support. It's so far. Such ones are very strong parabolic moves that can eat and take away your money. So you always want to wait for the retest. Okay, this one is in profits. You're a good boy. So, ladies and gentlemen, do you have any question on this parabolic moves? I'm sorry, on this false breakout rather.
None
Any
yet.
question?
None yet.
Okay. Okay, let me just stop sharing the screen on that. Then to be sure let me stop recording, sorry. I want to now talk about that double top, and I don't want it to be